Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my table. My name is Toni and welcome to another pick a card reading. This week, we're going to be doing a really fun one. We're going to find out how does he feel about you? What is he thinking about you? What does your special man in your life honestly and truly think and feel? And especially for those of you who are not in contact with, your loved one, this may be a good way to kind of tap in and see what is he really thinking and feeling, okay? So before we begin, we are going to go ahead and create a sacred container where we welcome in and we invite our higher selves, as well as calling upon Christed consciousness to please join us at the table. We command our sovereignty in this time, dimension, place, and space. And we disinvite and we disallow all beings, energies, and entities of less than Christed consciousness. And now we set our intentions by calling forth in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We welcome to the table now and we invite in our angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, guardians of the four corners, Mother of the earth, Father of the sky, and sacred ones. We welcome all of you here now. We ask you, please be present with us. Please help us to understand and to interpret these messages to the best of our knowledge as we receive them. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who are returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to have you back. And for those of you who are brand new, my name is Toni. Welcome to my table. I'm so happy to have you. So let's look at the decks that we are going to be using today. We are going to be looking at the Angel Guide by Kyle Gray. And see that little yellow box right there? That is actually the Shadowland Tarot. So that is who we're going to be looking at today, the Angel Guide Oracle book and the Shadowland Tarot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got 3 piles to choose from. I'm going to show you. I've got a very special little Buddha on each one, and each pile will talk about why they're so special. But anyway, I have a Buddha for each one. I'm going to show you. You'll pick which Buddha appeals to you most, which pile you think is yours. Drop down below in the links and see what the links, drop down below in the comments or the description to the links. Go find out what your message is. As always, you may have more than one message, or you may just want to listen to them all because they're actually maybe something there for you. So just, feel free to listen to 1, 2, or 3 messages. That's fine. And if you could, when you're done, take a quick second, or even right now, what else you got going on? I mean, you're just listening to me talk. Give me a big thumbs up. Comment, share this with somebody who might find this interesting, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and begin. We are going to look at, this is pile 1 Buddha, pile 1. Ooh, I got some tingles on that one. Pile 2 Buddha, pile 2. And lastly, pile 3 Buddha. Okay, so which pile is it going to be for you? Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3? Let's drop down below and find out what does he really think and feel about you. See you soon. Welcome back, pile 1. So if you picked this little teeny tiny Buddha, this is the coolest thing ever. My great-grandmother, actually my great-grandfather was based when he was in the Air Force. When it first became the Air Force, when it went from the Army Air Force to the Air Force, he was he enlisted on the first day. And after World War II, they were based in Japan. Back then it was called occupied Japan. They were based just outside of Tokyo. And this is the Kamakara Buddha that my grandmother got in 1947. And so it's very special. And actually, I'll go ahead and tell you, in case you don't go to pile 3, I actually visited the very same Buddha in 2017. And that's what this Buddha is. So my grandmother and I both got to witness the same Buddha, but 50 years apart. So I just think that's kind of cool. But anyway, so let's get to your pile. So the first card that you pulled was the Oracle card, and it is a spiritual growth. So really and truly, what he is feeling, what he is thinking is he's kind of in, he may be going through a dark night of the soul right now. Very honestly, it feels like he is definitely in kind of a period of spiritual growth. It says, let me just read the book to you. I'm not going to read the whole book, but it says that when this card arrives, it's a confirmation that the experiences and insights that you have recently felt have been divinely led. Okay, so it feels like he's kind of going through a period of spiritual growth. It says this card is letting you know that these experiences are real and are occurring because your determination to open up spiritually. So that's kind of the thing. He's kind of and a lot of times when people go through, you know, that dark night, especially when they're in deep spiritual growth and healing, very often they pull back. They kind of go into that hermit energy where they need to be alone, they need to spend time by themselves, just kind of healing and working through it all. Okay, so it kind of feels like maybe right now he's a little bit pulled back, kind of in a period of spiritual growth. So the first card from the tarot asks, what is his story, what he is telling you? And we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And so just like I said before, he's feeling very imbalanced. He's feeling very ungrounded, very unsure of himself, not sure of what's the next step to take, where's the path going to lead, just unbalanced and ungrounded. So that is definitely what he's telling you. He's like, look, right now, I'm kind of a hot mess kind of energy, okay? So the second card asks, then what is it that he is really thinking? And so he's telling you the truth. This is the thing. This is the Six of Pentacles. He needs to focus on taking care of his own needs. And it's not that he doesn't want to take care of your needs. He absolutely wants to take care of your needs. But the thing is that he's got a lot going on in his world right now himself, okay? And so that's the thing. It's not that he doesn't love you. In fact, if you look, you see they're giving each other little heart balloons down there at the bottom. You know, it's not that he doesn't care about you or love you perhaps, but it's more that right now he's only got so much energy to give, and so he has to give that energy to himself, okay? The third card asks, how does he actually truly feel about you deep down? Now that is a very interesting card, the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is kind of the card of having kind of a low drive, a lack of desire energy. This is feeling kind of ungrounded. Again, this is both of these cards, as you see, with the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Both of these are in reverse. And so this is kind of that energy of somebody who just kind of needs to take a step back from their responsibilities. And in some people, when these two come up, it's not necessarily that they need to take a step back because they need the space and the time to heal and to work through some stuff. But sometimes this is about just kind of shirking the responsibility altogether. And so that's this energy here of, you know, what he's actually feeling right now is that he doesn't have a lot to give. With the Page of Pentacles coming up, this is just kind of really dealing with a lot of uncertainty and not knowing where the future is going. And so it's almost that it's not that he doesn't care or anything like that. It's just right now his future is very much up in the air, and it's almost like he doesn't have the mental or emotional bandwidth to give to anybody. And it's not just you. It's not personal. I don't think this is personal at all. This feels very much, because you're going to see it just keeps repeating itself, that he is just very much in the time frame. See the Two in reverse? He's not in partnership and unity right now. He's standing alone. He needs to figure it out for himself, okay? And so the next card asks how he is walking their talk. In other words, how he is showing you what he's saying. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's always so painful to get crushed beneath this wheel. This is the energy of just kind of being at the bottom. This is kind of being pretty low. This is feeling kind of unlucky, unfortuitous, kind of like life has really given it to you, you know? And I would make a crude comment here, but there may be children listening, but it involved lubrication, and we'll just leave it at that. So it's a rough ride is what I'm trying to say. And so right now he's not just saying he doesn't feel good, he's showing you. It's very clear. This is a very low energy. The beautiful thing about the Wheel of Fortune is we always have to remember the wheel of life continues to turn. And so what goes up will come down, what goes down will come up. And so if he's at the bottom, the good news is he's only got one way to go from this point forward. It will be going right back up. So that's good news. But yeah, this is just definitely these very down, depressed energy here, okay? So what are the outside influences that are impacting what's happening in his life right now? So it really feels like he could be going through kind of a dry spell financially. You know, we got this Two of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the, you know, what is happening here, the Three of Pentacles. And then, you know, even what he's really thinking shows up with the Six of Pentacles. So he's definitely got money on the mind, finances and career on the mind. It may be that, I think my dog is having I'm sorry, my dog's asleep. So if you hear some little sounds, that's her having little dreams. But anyway, you know, inflation has got us all kind of thinking about money, but it could be that this particular situation right now is really out of control for him. And so, as such, he may have a lot of this on his mind. He may have lost his job. He may not have enough right now. He may not be sure how he's going to get, you know, through this next week, next month. And all of that is, especially as a masculine, you know, the divine masculine likes to be able to provide and feel secure and stable. And when they're feeling unstable and ungrounded, this is a very difficult energy to sit in with divine masculine, okay? So, there's definitely some kind of outside influences involving his career or finances that are impacting this entire situation with him and with you as well, okay? And then the final card asks, how will he be walking in 6 to 8 weeks? Oh, my. The Seven of Swords is showing up. Now, this is kind of the card of cons and lies and sneaking around, but in regards to relationships, when this comes up, because, you know, swords are about communication, right? And so there's a lot that he's not saying, a lot that he's not sharing. He's just kind of keeping it to himself and trying to get away, you know, without being caught, basically, with his feelings. He's definitely not expressing his feelings. And honestly, it doesn't feel like he's quite ready to come back around and to open up yet. Okay, so it feels like in the next 6 to 8 weeks, he's still kind of in this lower vibe energy, not really wanting to be open, not really wanting to, you know, heal. No, it's not even that. It's not that he wants to heal. He's focusing on healing himself, getting himself out of whatever the situation is, especially this financial situation. But it feels like he may be even a little bit more lower than he is now, even 6 to 8 weeks from now, because this is a Seven of Swords. This is kind of stealing and lying and deceiving. And so there may be that he's having to kind of go even lower, because that's definitely a lower vibe energy. And so it may be that he's even having to shoot lower to accomplish what he needs to. Okay, so you know, I definitely give him a lot of grace, a lot of compassion, but space, you know, hold space for him, and just let him know that the door is open if he ever needs you. But understand that right now, spiritual growth very often has to be done by ourselves, and sometimes we have to go as low as we can before we can come right back up. Okay, so much love to you, Pile One. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me at Toni Summers Tarot on Instagram, or link down below to my website, to ToniSummersTarot.com. I hope you will come back, and until I see you again, y'all take care of yourselves. Bye, Pile One. Welcome back, Pile Two. So, if you chose this Buddha, this is one of my favorites, because this is the Buddha that I got at the Tian Tan Buddha in Hong Kong in 2019. So this is a very, very special memory for me. This is one of the best, literally one of the absolute best days in my entire life. And I'm so glad that you chose this and brought back such a special memory for me. So let's see, what is he really thinking and feeling about you, Pile Two? So to begin with, the first card you got in the Oracle deck is Transformation. I really love that, because it feels like he's kind of going through a bit of a transformation, self-transformation, and as such, your relationship is transforming. And I feel like it's going to be transforming for the positive, all right? Right now, it may be even that he's pulled back a little bit because he's changing for the better. Honestly, what I'm hearing is, you know, that he's changing for the better here, because it says, in the book, we're not going to read the whole book, just a little bit. It says that you are ready to move beyond energies or situations that are no longer helpful to you, and to make space in your life for something more purposeful. So that's where he's at. It says when this card appears, angels are acknowledging the emotional and physical transformations that have taken place in your life, okay? And so, you know, there's just this big energy of not, it says you may feel a need for more clearing out this time, not just physically, but mentally, physically, and spiritually too. As you remove the clutter and the debris from your world, you welcome in the energy of transformation. So that's kind of what's going on. I feel like he is really going through a great change. As such, this is going to lead to a great change in your relationship, and I feel like for the better, because let's see what this is talking about here in the tarot. Because the first card asks what his story is, what he is telling you, okay? So we have the Hangman. So this could be, for some of you, a Pisces, this story could be about. But the Hangman is about, he's feeling a little stuck right now. In fact, and some of you he may be pulling back, okay? In this relationship, he may be feeling, hey, I don't like where we are, I feel like the energy of this relationship has gotten stagnant. Part of that is because we both have work to do. I know I have work to do, and if I have work to do, you probably do too. And so right now, he may be feeling like this relationship is kind of stuck. It's not going forward, and that's what he's telling you. Okay, but what he's really thinking is even though he's feeling like this relationship has maybe become stagnant or he's become stagnant, what he wants though, what he's really thinking is that he really, really loves you and he really wants to be in partnership and union with you. That's the Two of Cups, okay? Again, there's that Pisces energy showing up. So this is that kind of watery, deep feelings, you know. He's not ready to move on, even if he's saying he is, because what he doesn't understand is it's not about moving on. It's about maybe giving yourself a little space and to give yourself room to change. You know, sometimes if you're too close to somebody, you can't fully express and change into, you know, who you need to be. Think about the little bitty caterpillar. It doesn't have wings, but when it comes out, it needs to be open its wings. And if somebody's standing right next to it, they're gonna go poof and flying off, right? So you sometimes need a little bit of space so you can allow yourself to transform. So what does he really feel about you deep down? We have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, here's the thing. This relationship to him feels very stable, very grounded, very solid. But there is definitely some room for improvement because, as you see with the Four of Pentacles, you see how he's holding on kind of tightly there. So this could be that you're both kind of holding on tightly to aspects of yourself that need to be released. You know, he feels like this is a good relationship, but we have a little bit of fine tuning. The reason why things feel stagnant is because there's parts of ourselves that we're both holding on to. Hang on, let me show you. This is a good relationship. But the reason why the relationship feels a little stagnant is because there are parts of ourselves that we're holding on to that that he is beginning to realize that needs to change. That needs to. It's not that we need to let go of each other, that we both have things that we can transmute and transform and become better. Okay. So he wants. How does he? Wait, hang on, I'm on the wrong card. How is he walking his talk? In other words, how is he showing you what he's saying? We have the Six of Wands, and so what he's saying is hey, I don't feel like I'm being very successful in life. I don't feel like we are being very successful as a couple. And so there is definitely, you know, he is definitely saying, you know, that I feel like things are kind of stuck. And it's not just what I'm saying. I'm truly feeling this deep down and that I care about you. But there's definitely something that we are unsuccessfully holding on to. And what is that? What is it that you're holding on to? What is it that I'm holding on to? Is it, you know, a thought, a pattern that we keep repeating? Is it a habit that's, you know, outgrown its usefulness? Is it, you know, a belief that can be changed? You know, what is it that we're holding on to that's holding us back? And so that's what he really wants you to examine, and for himself as well. So what are the outside influences that are impacting his walk? So this is a very interesting one with the Queen of Pentacles right here. So it could be that very much he's being impacted by career and finances. This actually was mentioned in pile 1 too, because there was a lot of that energy of money and career kind of influencing it. But this is that energy of like short-sightedness, or lack of preparation, kind of catching up with them. Okay. And so it feels like that's a thing, whether it's an externally short-sighted situation catching up to him, or whether it's something internal, like he thought he was ready for this relationship, and, you know, because he thought maybe he had healed or whatever it was, he was ready for this, but now he realizes that was kind of short-sighted, and he kind of had a just a lack of being of clarity of where this was going. And so now he's realizing, hey, we've got to get a little bit of stability for both of us. But also I feel like part of this is finances and the cost of things are weighing down on him as well. So it's kind of like weighing all in pile on him, and it's a lot. He's feeling very heavy. He's feeling very, very ungrounded. Okay. But like I said, he needs a little space, a little time to figure this out for himself, to allow himself to change and grow, because how will he be walking in 6 to 8 weeks, the Three of Cups. So this is very positive. This is coming back together. This is wanting to be with you, wanting to work with you, wanting to figure it out, wanting to co-create and collaborate and just, work together. And so this is coming back together and figuring it out. So give him a little space, a little time, a little grace, a little compassion, and give yourself a little grace and time and compassion as well. Figure it out for yourself. There's some kind of old, there was a lie that you were told that you believe. There was, some distortion that was put in your little head when you were younger, and you still believe that, okay? And when you begin to realize, what is the spider? Here's the web that we're caught on. Where's the spider that created it? So when we kill the spider, the web goes away, okay? So that's what this is about. It's about figuring out what is the spider that's caught you in the web and getting unstuck. And he's doing the very same thing himself. And a little time, a little patience, and I think that this is going to come back around in the next month and a half to 2 months. Okay? All right, pile 2. If you enjoy this, please be sure to give me a like, comment, share. This was somebody who could enjoy it, or even subscribe to my channel. If you want to find me elsewhere on Instagram, you can find me at Toni Summers Tarot, or if you look down below in the links, you'll see the link to my personal shop, ToniSummersTarot.com. I would love to have y'all come on back. I'll see y'all next week if you come on back. If you don't, and until I do see you again, y'all take care of yourselves. Bye, pile 2. Welcome back, pile 3. Okay, so if you picked this sweet little gold Buddha, let me tell you the story. These two Buddhas actually go together. These are from the Kamakura Buddha, just outside of Tokyo in Kamakura, Japan. And my great-grandmother, my great-grandparents were stationed, my grandfather, I should say, was stationed, and he was in the Air Force when it first became the Air Force. He signed up on the day 1. And after World War II, he was stationed in what was called occupied Japan. And in 1947, they went and saw the great Buddha of Kamakura. And my great-grandmother got this little guy in 1947. And then fast forward exactly 50 years later in 2017, I visited and I got this guy to match. So I just love that these guys are here with me. It's very special, just to have that connection with my great-grandmother. So thank you for picking up pile 3. So let's see, what is he thinking and feeling about you, pile 3. So the first card that we picked is for the oracle is harmony and resolution. So he's really trying to find harmony in this relationship. If there's been arguing, if y'all been having some tits for tats, or even really kind of going at it, just not really connecting or getting along well, he's really wanting that to end. He wants this to have to resolve any conflicts that have been coming between the two of you, okay? The card, I'm not going to read the book here a lot. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. It says, this is the time to focus on your own inner peace. Dedicate time and energy to doing what you can to make yourself feel comfortable and comforted, okay? It says to take a step back, to collect your thoughts, and to breathe. This is the time for you to visualize yourself, the situation, and everyone involved enveloped in a golden light of goodness and grace. So trust the process is what it's saying. But the big thing here is that he really wants whatever is coming between the two of you to just be resolved and let the relationship be healthy, okay? Because that is definitely coming through here. What is his story? What he is telling you? Yeah, the 9 of Wands. Things are a little bit intense right now. There is this need to have just kind of better communication. You know what I mean? And excuse me, I'm so sorry. There's this kind of need to kind of reinvigorate the relationship. Things may have gotten stagnant, or it could even be that y'all have gotten into this habit of kind of picking at each other, bickering a lot, and there's just a lot of heat surrounding this relationship. And so he's kind of asking to allow things to kind of settle down, and to really allow this relationship, relationships, any kind of relationship that's going to go through the test of time is going to have its ups and downs, okay? But this is about making that effort to kind of renew that connection and to see if that attraction is still there for each other, okay? So that's really what this is about. So what is it that he is really thinking? So this is what he's telling you. He's like, I feel like we need to figure out how to reconnect this relationship and make sure it's still connected. But what is he really thinking? He is very overwhelmed at this moment. He's feeling a little insecure about the whole thing and not sure if he's making the right choices. It feels like there's just a lot in his head. Some things, like I said, no relationship that's going to last is not going to have ups and downs, but he's really kind of weighing the sum total of all the choices and looking at it all as a whole and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit, underwater here. So he's trying to just come back up for breath is really the energy here. Kind of come back up and make it make sense so that it's like I said, it's almost like he's kind of doing a check-in. Where are we? Are we still committed? Are we still in the same boat? Are we still going, sailing in the same directions? Okay. So then how does he truly feel about you deep down? Listen, that's the Queen of Wands. She first of all, there's probably a very strong sexual magnetic kind of attraction here. You could be a bit dramatic, he feels at times. If this is this energy, when the Queen of Wands shows up, it's like, I just heard Taylor Swift in my head perfectly. She says, I'll promise to be over dramatic and true to my lover. And that's kind of the thing. That's how he knows. He knows, like, yeah, you might be a little bit over dramatic sometimes, maybe blow things up, but so do I, and that's life. We all do, but the thing is that there's a strong attraction to you. Okay, this is how he really feels about you deep down. He's still very strongly attracted to you. But is this relationship, is all the drama worth it? Is the drama that the two of you are creating sometimes, is it worth it? Is it getting too hot to handle? Is it kind of causing him to feel a little bit like it's too much, like he's overwhelmed? Or is it still enough an attraction there to keep it going? This is what he's trying to figure out for himself. This is what this harmony and resolution is all about. So the next card asks, how is he walking his talk? In other words, how is he expressing what he's thinking? Queen of Cups. So this is beautiful energy. He still wants to make an effort. He's still telling you, I care about you. I care about the future that we are creating together. I want to nurture this relationship. I want you to nurture this relationship, but I only want a relationship with somebody who wants a relationship with me. I only want to create a future with somebody who wants to create a future with me. So are we both on the same page here? Are we both, going in the same direction? Or has this relationship, is it kind of, caught in the storm? Is it out there trying to, to stay afloat? Or is it kind of being pulled under by the tide and drowning? What's happening with this relationship? And so he's really telling you, listen, I love you. I care about you. I want to have a nurturing, creative relationship, a caring relationship. I'm still very much attracted to you. Both of these queens here, I'm still very much attracted to you. But are we still seeing eye to eye? Or is this, just because I care about you, just because I'm attracted to you, does that mean that we're still on the same page? That doesn't mean anything. You have to have all the things going in the same direction for it to work, right? So what are the outside influences that are impacting the way he is showing up in this relationship? So this is the King of Pentacles. Interestingly enough, in all three readings, Pentacles have been the outside influences. So very much, I can tell you, everybody has their mind on the money and money on their mind. The inflation, the cost of gas, everything has gone through the roof. Jobs are, can we afford to pay for things? Can we afford to provide? And so this is a very interesting energy here. First of all, that is literally the outside energy. He's kind of looking at this life, kind of looking at the world as a whole, especially here with the King of Pentacles, and trying to decide, is the world that he is creating, the world that he is living in, is it stable? Is it secure? Is it what he wants? And there's just a lot of reevaluation energy going on here, okay? Because the outside world is really impacting him internally and causing him to really look at everything and decide, is the energy, is the, what is the word I'm trying to say? The, not commodity that I'm spending, is the, dang it, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. It has to do with the word money, and I just cannot come up with it. Anyway, is the effort that I'm making in this relationship, is the amount that I'm investing, is the amount that I'm investing into this relationship, King of Pentacles, worth the return that I'm getting on it? Is the ROI worth it? In other words, the return on investment, is it worth it? Okay, so and that's really where he's at. And so it's very interesting, but the outside world is kind of causing him to look at his relationships, all of them, not just yours, and reevaluate them and make sure that he's getting what he's putting in back out. Okay. So where will he be walking in 6 to 8 weeks? Now there's a shock I didn't see coming. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. He may be saying that this relationship doesn't feel steady. This relationship doesn't feel solid, and he may be reconsidering it. It feels like there's just some outside influences here with the world that's kind of shaking him up and really causing him to just ask himself, what does he prioritize, especially with the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, from the beginning to the end of the Pentacles there. You know, this is about looking at his life from the beginning and the end and seeing what is working and what is not, and tossing out what isn't, and really focusing on nurturing. And because that's why we have these queens here, really focusing on nurturing what is working. So it could be that as he's spending these next, you know, month and a half to 2 months looking at the world as a whole, it feels like his energy may be shifting in this relationship, and he may be reevaluating your role and the dynamic that he has with you in his life. Okay. All right. And I know that may not be what you want to hear, but don't get mad at me. I'm just the reader. The cards chose it. So, all right. Please don't get mad at me, but for real. I'm a nice person. No, seriously. Thank you, Pile 3, for being here with me. I hope that you will come back again if you can. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on Instagram at Toni Summers Tarot, or the link down below to my website is ToniSummersTarot.com. I would love to have you there. Come and see me again. Until I see you next time, Pile 3, y'all take care of yourselves. Bye.